I didn't think I'd be talking about this couple again, but I know this is going from bad to worse. I think this is turning into something real ugly. Put it that way. So, from what I was reading, they're saying that this is a smear campaign on Nicole Young, and it's to make her look bad. But you can't ignore the fact that LAPD is investigating Dr. Dre's wife for alleged embezzlement. So this is FNR TIG, TIGG. So there's that picture of the two of them, I guess in happier times when they weren't at odds with one another. And so this is really looking like this divorce is not going over well. And so I guess because, these things happen when people are not able to peacefully agree on things. And, some divorces are quick and others take a lot more. Um, so it says that Dr. Dre's estranged wife, Nicole Young, is under investigation for alleged embezzlement. So TMZ has also reported this on Tuesday that Dr. Dre's business partner, Larry Chapman, filed a report with LAPD claiming that Nicole Young withdrew $400,000 from a business account without authorization. Per the LAPD, Dre's account is missing $385,029 So this does not look good, but it's saying that that's what he's missing. But I started to say directives, but detectives, they have detectives that are aware that Chapman believes that Young stole this money and embezzled the cash. So the department is now looking into the allegations, so they have to go through with the investigation. So if Young is brought up on charges, then she could be facing time for an embezzlement. So this part of it is pretty serious. So although Dr. Dre didn't file the police report, these are accusations that the producer Chapman have made against Nicole Young in the past. And so Dre claimed that Young made 2 withdrawals from the account without permission during their divorce case. So if it happened before the divorce, then they were still together. And I don't know if you have any grounds to stand on, but since it was during the divorce case, that's probably not looking so good. Yet Nicole says, now this is what Nicole Young is saying, that she had a right to the money because her name is on that account. So she also says, so basically she's admitting that she did take some money, but she said her name was on that account as well. So they'll investigate it, I'm sure, and get to the bottom of it. But she also says that the investigation into this matter is merely a PR stunt and a smear campaign, and she attempts to move forward with her divorce. And that could possibly be the other issue that's going on. So this comes after Dr. Dre, he had won his legal battle against Nicole Young earlier this month. A judge rejected Young's claim to have Dr. Dre pay $1.5 million in monthly alimony after the music mogul proved that he was still supporting her lifestyle. So basically, he's still supporting her lifestyle. See, that's what I was saying. Because if correct me if I'm wrong, she's supposed to be living in Malibu. I feel like anybody living in any of those beachfront areas, those areas are not cheap. So just living there alone, you're paying a lot of money just to maintain, like it says, the lifestyle. So that's the first thing that I came up with when I saw that she was living. Because when you go, even if you go to some of to some of the places like up by the coast line, all those areas seem to be really, really pricey. because I guess you're paying for the, you could just walk to the beach. You don't have to drive miles, and you're right there. You can see the scene. You're paying for that whole scenery. So, and then I guess it may be a lot more maintenance to live in those areas. So I I think most of the people that live in those areas are high income earners, because most of those places on that side of town seem to be you know catering to that community that is about living like right at the coastline. And so everything, it seems like it's just a lot more expensive. So I noticed that over the course of the years here in California. You notice when you live in certain areas, if it has something that is of value to many people, you basically, if you have a house, or if you're a renter in that area, you're going to be paying for whatever it is that's over there that's a main attraction. If you live by the Staples Center, and you can walk over there to the Staples Center, now you're paying for that. That's going to be pretty pricey. If you live by the beach, and you're going to be paying for that. And so Malibu seems like it's pretty pricey. So I wanted to shift gears here. I'm not surprised that this is going on, but it does, like I said, it doesn't look like this is going to end. It doesn't look like it's getting really ugly. So, like I said, I don't think that this is the only couple that has had some ups and downs. There's been many other couples that have had ups and downs. Now that we know about this issue right here, I'm going to pull it up. This I just saw recently about Megan Thee Stallion, and I already had did a video about her incident, and that um, she actually, there's many articles about her, but something recently came up about Megan Thee Stallion and the Tory Lanez. So this is Megan Thee Stallion right here. Let me see here. I don't know if I'm pressing it right. So this is what I already, I don't know if any of you all seen that I did a video earlier, and I gave some of my feedback, but I saw something more recent that he was not only, in trouble for, he was charged with the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion, and it talks about that, and it also says that Tory Lanez arraignment was postponed in Megan Thee Stallion. And then it mentioned something about that there is a possible restraining order. And so they were, I guess, having a relationship, and things didn't, of course, they didn't go well. So there was an argument that ensued, and a disagreement, and then it wound up becoming where it got Tory Lanez the charges that he has. So this is what I heard here. It was more recent, and I guess TMZ might have this. They have everything, it seems. So I just saw that they said that he had a restraining order. So I guess if he gets out, or if he's out, or he has to appear in court, which they also have Dr. Dre's situation and embezzlement that's going on. Says the judge orders him in court hearing and to stay away from Megan, so he can't be around her no more. And so this is the two of them. And so I know they weren't married, but they were in a relationship, and something went wrong, and this was what we saw when she was getting out the SUV. Her feet were bloody because she was shot, and so by Tory Lanez. So this right here, boy, I tell you, it just seems like it goes from bad to worse. But it says around 10:48 a.m. the judge has also ordered Tory must surrender any guns that he owns. Okay, so it says that Tory has just been ordered to stay the hell away from Megan Thee Stallion after a hearing for the felony assault charge. So Tory appeared by phone for Tuesday's hearing in LA County Court for what was supposed to be his arraignment, but his attorney, Sean Hawley, requested a continuance. So it was granted, so he did not enter a plea. So the judge, however, issued a protective order against Tory. And now he's got to stay at least 100 yards away from Megan Thee Stallion. And yes, that's what it means. And not contact her. He can't talk to her no more. So his bail was set at 190,000 or 190K. And so which he'll be posting by way of a bondsman present at the hearing. So the hearing comes on the same day that Megan Thee Stallion wrote an open or an opt for the New York Times on why she speaks up for black women, saying that she's not afraid of criticism and being adamant that saying protect black women should not be a controversial topic. It shouldn't be. That should be something that should be just the norm. But unfortunately, it has become a controversial topic because not everybody is into protecting black females. And the sad part about it is sometimes you find that happening in our own community with our own other black peers that they're not into protecting their own black women. So she also addressed that Tory Lanez case, saying, "I was recently the victim of an act of violence by a man. So after a party, I was shot twice. I walked away from him, and we were not in a relationship." So this is what she said: we were not in a relationship. So the way they had it, they said that they were in a relationship, but truthfully, I was shocked that I ended up in that place. So Meg added, "My initial silence about what happened was out of fear for myself and my friends. So even as a victim, I have been met with skepticism and judgment. So the way people have publicly questioned and debated whether I played a role in my own violent assault proves that my fears about discussing what happened were unfortunately warranted." And so the sad part about this, of course, somebody, they'll try to help to clarify a lot of these things. So it says, as we reported, the LA County DA office slapped him with one count of an assault with a semi-automatic firearm and one count of carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle. And the DA also alleges that Tory inflicted great bodily injury on Megan. So it wasn't just the shooting. So he must have hurt her physically. So if convicted, the rapper singer faces up to 22 years and 8 months in prison. So that's why they say 23. He could face up to 23. So this is Tory Lanez. Time will and the truth will come to light. I have all faith in God to show that love to all my fans and people that have stayed true to me and know my heart. A charge is not a conviction. If you have supported me or Meg through this, I genuinely appreciate you. And so Tory defended himself publicly last week and said he deserves his day in court. As we told you, the rapper broke his silence Friday morning and reminded fans the charge is not a conviction, which it isn't. And so we will see more about this story is developing as well. So this is pretty intense. It seems like sometimes things go from a bad thing to sometimes worse. So Tory Lanez denies Megan Thee Stallion shooting claims on new album. So there's an album. So Megan Thee Stallion's team accuses Tory Lanez reps of smear campaign. So those are related articles that were, I guess, in lieu of what has already taken place. So I guess this right here was when she exited the vehicle, and so you can click on that in your own leisure. But this is to the left, that is Tory Lanez, and to the right, that is Megan Thee Stallion. And we will see how this story develops, because from what I was hearing, that there was a relationship between the two of them. So maybe it was something that wasn't really serious and it was just very brief. She says that she wasn't in a relationship. So there's a lot to clarify on these stories. So you never know. So more, I guess I would say this is developing. We really don't know all of the details except for what we're hearing. And so this will also come out, and be more will be revealed about this. And so, speaking of another couple, which I believe this on and off again situation, is Cardi B. And I believe I don't really do too much on her, especially with what happened with there was a young lady who had a show on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and she was, there was a whole lot of drama about Cardi B and some other stripper or whatever. So Cardi B just reacted to the accidentally leaking of her own nude photos on Instagram. Now that is something different. I don't know about that. It's 4 hours ago. That's something that just happened. I guess there was some new photos. So she recently had a birthday, and so from what I heard is her birthday. She reunited with her husband after, amid their situation, there was a divorce that was going to happen between Cardi B and Offset. So he bought her a new Rolls Royce, and the Rolls Royce, I'm just telling you off the top of my head without even reading, the Rolls Royce had Culture, Baby Culture's name already engraved inside of the Rolls Royce in a baby car seat, it looked like, from what I had saw. And then he had a billboard with her and Culture, with Cardi B and Culture in matching outfits. It was pink, and um, I guess she met with him again, and this is after she was going to divorce. So it looks like this might be an on and off again situation. So this is a developing story. So Cardi B and Offset reunite again in Atlanta at a strip club amid divorce filing. So this is by Liz Calvario. October 13th. So Cardi B may have filed for the divorce from Offset, but it appears that she's enjoying the company of him these days. And so the 28-year-old rapper reunited with her not so estranged husband on Monday night. And so there's videos of them. Probably it's on Instagram. I'm sure you can see it. It's just that the couple days after were photographed kissing at her birthday in Las Vegas. And so the two were arm in arm as they arrived to a Lord Gentleman Club in Atlanta, Georgia. And Cardi rocked it with the red and orange mini dress and black stilettos with her dark locks in half up and half down look. And so the Migos rapper, he rocks black skinny jeans, black jacket, and a baseball cap. And so I guess there might be a photo or something down here. And so I'm not going to go into this story. So this is an on again, off again relationship. This is probably the lesser of the two that we just went over. And so, um, you know, you know, this is the scene between the two of them. So it doesn't look like this is really a bad situation at all, but it's, I say this is a developing type of situation. But, there's no shooting in this, and you don't hear of any violence or anything like that. There might be some disagreement, but it's on again, off again. So I would say that maybe should give it a chance and see what happens. That's my opinion, but this doesn't look like they really are ready to separate. But anyway, with the other two situations, it looks like it's a little more serious, unfortunately. And Megan says that she didn't have a relationship with him, but we'll see. I don't know. everybody says different things, especially when they're angry or disappointed or they feel bad about something horrible that has happened to them. But I can tell you this, she didn't deserve to be shot and she didn't deserve to be abused. And so there's probably a smear campaign going on about Megan Thee Stallion, I'm sure, because it always seems that way, especially when it's about females. Seems like they tend to pretty much bash us, to the full extent. But then this thing with Dr. Dre, they have been together a lot longer. They're married for like 23, 24 years or something like that. So this seems like this right here, there wasn't didn't hear any shooting, but for what she said in her relationship, she was basically saying that they had been together and there was years of abuse. But I guess maybe that didn't come out in court. It seemed like this more seems like a ugly divorce and a money battle. That's what it looks like to me on the issue of Dr. Dre and Nicole Young's situation. Now there's this what she says, Nicole Young. This might be more on the part of this guy Chapman, Larry Chapman, that is a PR stunt, and it's just a smear campaign on her as well. So we'll see how these stories develop. Boy, it's just so much drama. I know it sounds weak, but I almost like being single when you see all this crazy stuff going down. But what can you do? Nobody's perfect, but we'll see. I mean, these stories are interesting. I know this get interesting by the moment, but you never know what could come out of this. You never know how maybe they'll resolve their differences, or maybe it'll get worse. It's from what I'm looking at, it looks like it's getting worse in terms of Dr. Dre and Nicole Young, in terms of the smearing, and it seems like mudslinging. That's what it feels like when you see these articles about, oh, she stole money from me, oh, she's trying to be greedy, and it's all like at her. That's what it looks like. It's at her, and I think it's because the fact I feel like people act funny when it has to do with money. Whenever you start having to mess with people's money, and people are instantly, you can make instant enemies messing with folks' money. I'm just telling you, this is a lesson to everybody. All you young people out there, you mess with somebody's money, that's when you make your enemies. Seriously, mess up with somebody's money. I don't care how you look. You mess up with somebody's money, that's an instant enemy. That's how you mess yourself up. And then you see who really in your corner. You mess with somebody's money. That's how I've learned it. Every time I say people act different when you start messing with their money. So anyway, I'm gonna let this video go. So having said that, these stories are developing. I think all three of these issues are developing. It's like a wait and see. Wait for it. Wait and see. But whatsoever, we are going to move on. And having said that, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for listening.